Good afternoon, students. Welcome back. I am making this video for Standard 10. The subject is History, chapter number 1, and the name of the chapter is Nationalism in Europe. Now, this chapter is very important chapter, and also the chapter is very hard. So, I would expect that the students will follow while the video will be done. While the students will get the video, you will follow the video very cautiously and very carefully. So this is very important to understand this chapter. Now, without wasting time, so as today is the first part of the video, so it is just an introductory part. Okay, this will be just an introductory part, and we will see nationalism in Europe. Now, nationalism, this word you have heard many times. Even in the previous classes also you have heard this word. Even the previous chapter in history that we had discussed was nationalism in India. So this word nationalism, you are quite familiar about this word. So, commonly speaking, what is this nationalism? It is a common feeling of people about what? About identity. So nationalism is what? It is a common feeling, a collective feeling of people regarding what? Regarding common identity, common race, common culture, common language. And why this common and collective belonging is required, collective feeling is required in order to develop love, respect and patriotism for a nation. Now, let's take an example. You are a student. You all are students. And also, you are a human being. Also, you are a citizen of this country. So, you have an identity with yourself that I am a citizen of India. So, this is what? This is very important. An identity of a person is very important. So, this is what this nationalism means. What is our national language? Hindi. What is our national flag? Our Indian tricolor. This what makes us different, gives us a separate identity. Our language, our culture, our flag, our anthem, various things. This gives us a sense of nationalism as well as patriotism. Patriotism is what? Love and respect for our homeland. A feeling of love and respect for a homeland is known as patriotism. So, this is all about nationalism. Now, in Europe, this sense of nationalism had developed in the minds of the people. From which time? From which revolution? From the French Revolution. Now, French Revolution is a very important part in the history of modern Europe. It was the first revolution in Europe. Revolution against what? Revolution against the monarchy rule. It was the first modern revolution. Europe has gone through various revolutions. So these are separate topics. Europe has seen several revolutions, several changes from this Renaissance period. Even before that, the fall of Constantinople, the fall of Byzantine Empire, all these things. The fall of Constantinople, which was done by the Ottoman Empire, they captured the Byzantine. So all these incidents brought change in the history of Europe. So we will not go to those topics. We will over here discuss about nationalism in Europe in the modern revolution. The modern revolution. We will discuss only the revolution that occurred in Europe after 18th century. Now, this revolution in Europe, it began from Renaissance period. Renaissance was the period where Europe has witnessed the development of art, architecture, science, education and various other things. So Renaissance was mostly the flourishment of art, architecture and science. This in the Renaissance period, the mind of the people was changed. Renaissance word means was a transformation. The word itself means a transformation, a change. Change in what? Change in the thinking of the people. The people started to think in a different way. The people started to think in a modernized way. The flourishment of education in the minds of the people. The people started to talk about various incidents. All these things was started from this Renaissance period. Mostly around 14th century or that. Then came the Reformation. The Reformation of what? The Reformation of religion. The Reformation of the Reformation means what? A change in the structure. Now people started to follow the religion in different way. Now the people started to ask various questions which was not permissible before the Renaissance period. The Roman Catholics, they were their orders or the orders or whatever slogans that were given by them, the people were bound to accept those things. No one dared to question the Catholics regarding the rules and the laws and whatever the guidelines that were given by them. But after the development of print culture in Europe, where more and more people started to learn, educate. So if we will speak about the Reformation period, there were many reformation. Reformation was done by various reformers. For example, the Martin Luther. He was a very important reformer who told the people, who challenged the practices of Roman Catholic Church. So these are the reformers who brought the change in the thinking of the people towards religion. There was, in the Renaissance period, the development of art was done. So Frederick Sorio, this person was a very famous artist, and his art criticized the upper culture. So through his art, he tried to propagate the information that the higher classes, especially the clergies in French Revolution that we had seen, clergies, the nobles, they are falling in they are lying on the ground. So there's an art, a picture. He was a famous artist who has painted a very debatable picture. This picture, which gave rise to the common people, above the feelings, who had gone above the level of the clergies and the nobles. The picture was drawn in the support of the common people, where it was seen that the higher class people are lying on the ground and the common people are putting steps on them. And with that, he has also drawn the picture of gods and goddesses who are giving blessings to the common people, that whatever they are doing, the nobles and the clergies, they are lying on the ground and the people are putting steps on them. They are beaten, they are tortured by the common people, and they are doing with the blessing of God. So all these things were done by this art. This art, this propagated a message what the words cannot speak. The art made them understand. So all this was possible because of this Renaissance, the development of art, development of education. All these things were done. So now, after Reformation, various changes, the formation of states took place. States. States means that today the Europe that you all are seeing, once this Europe was divided into various states, various kingdoms. There were monarchy rules in various parts of Europe. And France was the first country in the modern period who got freed, who freed themselves from the monarchy rule by removing Louis XVI from the throne. So he said he was a trendsetter. France was actually a trendsetter. And this brought a change, a reformation, a change in the structure of Europe. Many other countries started to follow this, the ideology of the French people. Now just let's take a look in this Europe before 18th century. What was the situation of Europe? Now you see, the situation of before 18th century, the states, what I have written over here, states. So these are the states. Austrian monarchy, Tsars of Russia, Kingdom of Prussia, okay, then Strats of England. So all these things, the nation was not belonged to the people. The nation did not belong to people. It belonged to the rulers. It belonged to the kings. This was the problem. Now people, they were not finding any importance. Why? Because there was absolutism, absolute monarchy, where people have no freedom to speak anything, as if they are the slaves in their own country. Earlier, the feelings was not there in the mind, but after the propagation of Renaissance and Reformation, this type of feelings came in the minds of the people. After French Revolution, it sparked the minds of the people. So all these things was in the nationalism in Europe before 18th century, in this particular part 1. So I will come with the next part 2, very soon. Till then, stay home, stay safe.